Let's talk about the tensions rising between Hangman and Samoa Joe. And you know what tickles me about this? We had Samoa Joe working as a commentator in a poncho the day before he got released at WrestleMania in Raymond James Stadium at WrestleMania 37. As a commentator wearing a poncho. And not like a WWE branded poncho. Like they gave him a trash bag with a hood. And we're like, enjoy this commentary segment here. Maybe he's not in good enough shape to wrestle. Samoa Joe looks like he looks like TNA Samoa Joe every time he's out there. I don't understand. He's ageless at this point. And it's incredible. This guy should never, if he's operating on the level that he has been over the last 2 years, be too far away from the world title picture, whether it's AEW, any company he's in. And it's crazy because I think when it's all said and done, you look at a guy like Samoa Joe and you look at his TNA run, you look at what he accomplished in the WWE, you look at the fact that he's been able to play both a babyface, both a monster heel. He's been able to be a commentator that's likable, really likable. He's awesome on the microphone. Bell to bell, he can go with any style. Somehow, this many years into Samoa Joe's career, the guy's still underrated. And Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe could be an absolute show stealer in my eyes. And I want to know if you have the same reaction, because I love seeing Samoa Joe on my TV screen operating at a level where he's in the world title picture.
I gotta tell you, I love the fact that you brought up the rain delay during Mania. It's one of the greatest moments of all time. I remember texting my buddy Chris and went, "Are we literally watching a rain delay at WrestleMania?" No, but Samoa Joe is legitimately, and I mean this, he is one of the GOATs. And he is legitimately underrated. And to me, when I consider somebody a GOAT, like a legitimate GOAT, I look at somebody that can get over both as a babyface and a heel. And there's some that just only do babyface, some only do heel. It doesn't make them any less great. But the GOATs of the GOATs are able to do both. And Joe's been able to do everything in wrestling. He is phenomenal. I don't believe he worked with John Cena, or at least I don't recall it, because I know everyone wants the final match. I had to do that. I can't help myself. No, but Joe against Hangman, that's a brilliant move, because I feel Hangman's on this redemption tour to be as a world champion, because we all talked about, Clark, when we used to do the Throwback Thursday shows, the first title reign was not great. It was not great. It was a great chase, but the actual run was not there. I feel like they're making a legitimate effort with this one to make it feel like, okay, he can be a world champion. He's not just a chase guy. I feel like they've done that. Joe is somebody that even he can make anyone bigger deal, because Joe is one of the most dominant champions of all time in Ring of Honor, dominant X Division champion in TNA, great champion in NXT. The guy's held gold everywhere he's been. He is legitimately one of the best. The inaugural class of the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he went in. Probably a future WWE Hall of Famer at some point. He's somebody that Triple H kind of pegged to be the heir apparent to William Regal. Obviously, Vince had different plans, which brought us Samoa Joe in AEW. Joe could definitely elevate Hangman. Do I believe Joe's going to beat Hangman? No. Like, I don't believe that. I wouldn't be disappointed, because I'm a big Samoa Joe fan. It's one of the pieces that I have in my media room is a piece signed by Samoa Joe. So I've been a Joe fan for a long time. But Joe's a smart choice. Joe's an absolute smart choice for this.
100%. And I'm with you. And we got a bunch of comments here that I want to run through really quick. Donnie here with Joe is one of my all-time favorites. He's nowhere near as explosive as he used to be, but nobody, all caps, changes gears as well as he does, so he hides his regression so well. That is the brilliance of Samoa Joe. Stylistically, he's adapted to – he's older now, but he still feels that – for lack of a better way to phrase this, he still feels like Samoa Joe. He's when you see him on TV, and I think that's the most impressive part, no doubt. We've also got one more comment. Sorry, and I'm not to cut you off here, but
no.
Say he added, I'm not gonna lie, Christian and Samoa Joe have found a new career resurgence here towards the end of their careers. I agree. You know what it kind of feels like is like you look at Jerry Rice at the end of his career. wide receiver. It's kind of an obscure example, but if you're a football fan, Jerry Rice was, athletically unbelievable in and out of breaks, one of the best route runners of all time, probably the best wide receiver of all time. In Seattle and in Oakland, clearly not the dynamic speed and explosiveness that you saw before, but still incredibly effective because he knows exactly what he's doing. And he was able to adapt to having to change a little bit of his style, but still play a role. And there's something to that when it comes to both Joe and Christian, no doubt. There's also this one here from Fernando Zayas, which is a world championship match being made because someone dropped their title belt on the floor, is very lame. I don't know if it's very lame. I don't think it was all just that. If it's anybody but Joe, maybe I might complain further. I don't know. Really quickly, while we have just a little time here, Mary, do you have anything to add?
It's a little more than that, honestly. I mean, if you look at what happened when Hangman won the belt, it's like everyone said, without the ops, Hangman would not be champion right now.
It's very true.
So it's a little bit of build off of that, just for the two being relatively civil with each other, to have this kind of tension brewing, like, oh, you think you're champ now, you think you're better than me, I'm Samoa Joe, it's kind of building Joe a little bit to be the heel. That way it doesn't really brush the good momentum off of Hangman, I feel.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think you brought up a great point there. It's kind of like an I owe you one situation.